So thanks guys, thanks for coming tonight. I'm glad you guys could be a part of this. I put this together because I wanted this to be a place where I can bring in people like you guys, people that might have a company for a while, or maybe they're just starting to getting into their business. I wanted to be able to offer them a business workshop environment where they'll be able to learn different strategies and techniques. Some stuff, some of you guys might already know, but some of this other stuff you guys probably won't know in terms of some of the digital aspects of this. So in case you guys don't know who I am, my name is Apollos Griffin, and I'm the owner of Apollos Imaging LLC. What I do is video strategy, I do photography, and I help companies really fine-tune like their branding, right? Try to make them as good as possible. So with the business workshop for tonight, we're going to be talking about video strategies. Woo! And then we're going to be talking about the 3 tiers of the business card, and then I'm just going to give you guys 5 quick tips on how to maximize your user friendliness, I guess would be a good way to put it, for your website. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. All right, so the first one, video strategies in our market. So in case you guys aren't familiar with video strategies, in the US alone, it's currently about a $135 billion industry, right, with all the different marketing aspects and avenues that are out there. So just take that as a whole big picture, right? I mean, that is a lot of money and a lot of investments that big companies are putting into video strategy. And again, if we look at the data, just a quick simple search, right, to see what's out there. If you look at Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, if you look at any of their products, any of their services, obviously the very first thing you're going to find is going to be links to their sources, right, where you can go buy products, right? The other thing you're going to find is going to be maybe some articles with some pictures, and obviously video, right? There's always something going on with the Super Bowl, or the next best thing, you got somebody on YouTube that's an avid fan that's like, look what just came out, look at the new iPhone, oh my gosh, right? They're just totally for it and they get millions of views. So not only do you have the big companies out there making commercials and everything for their products and their services, you got happy customers that love the products and services. They're out there making videos as well. And then of course, we all know about negative people, but they're like a very small percentage. We don't care about them. All right. So we're going to dive into what are the goals of video strategy. So before we get into that, does anybody have any ideas what video strategy might be? Just off the top of your head, what do you think a video strategy is? Yes?
Analyzing who you want to market to and tailoring your videos in a manner that they will understand and accept.
Yes, I love it. There it is. So yeah, basically what we're going to be doing is it's basically a creative process, and you're going to be designing specifically for your brand to build brand awareness and to convert the viewers into loyal customers, right? You're building this brand awareness not only on social media, but also on your platforms, whether that's going to be an actual website or a digital business card. So there's a lot of different pieces that move into that. The other part of the video strategy is going to be basically effectively telling and creating a story to the viewer, letting them kind of explaining why they want your product, right? Why do you want the service? Why do you want whatever it is that I'm offering? And there's different ways to do that. Obviously, you don't want to be like super boring, like in some people that you see, it's just like they're just in there in front of the phone or whatever, and it's just like, I can't watch even 10 seconds of this because I already know I can't deal with it. So it's like you got to be very creative in the way that you're approaching it, so that way in the first 2 seconds, you got them, right? Whether that's going to be professionally done or just universally done. And I'll get into that in just a second. All right. Now this is going to be really important. 5 tips, or 5 steps basically, to create your videos. So the first one is going to be, you got to establish the goal, right? What is it that you're going to be pushing out on the video? Is it going to be entertainment? Is it going to be informational or educational, right? Those are basically the 3 things that people go to on platforms when they're looking for content, right? So you got to first establish the goal, right? What are you trying to achieve? Next, you need to set a timeline for completion and implementation. The reason for that is if you do not set this prior to you creating this content, it's just going to be floating out there. You'll just be like, oh, I'm busy. I'll get that next week. I'll get that next week. And then your content just sits there, gets stagnant, and then it's old, and then you wasted all this time, potentially, if you were actually working on this. So as you guys are business owners and entrepreneurs, it's really important. I already know that most of you probably already have the daily scheduler, right? Where you go in and you're scheduling out your day, you're blocking out your time. So you know exactly what you're gonna be doing at what time, who you're meeting with, and a list goes on. So the same idea and principle works with video, right? So first you establish your goal. What am I doing? Am I just making one video, am I making a series of videos on this topic, or there's several topics that relate to this main topic that's gonna be spread throughout the next couple of weeks, next couple of months? What am I gonna be approaching here? So getting that is gonna be very important. You need to establish your target audience. Most of us already know who our target audience is, right? So that part should be fairly easy, but you know, going through and trying to figure out who your target audience is, you can actually utilize social media for that. They have a lot of really cool tools like polls, voting. You can ask quizzes and questions and stuff like that. So you can start building engagement through stories, right? To see, okay, who's actually being engaged? Like who is watching my content? What do I need to do to make it better, to make it more engaging for people, right? Or you already have a huge following, you're doing absolutely fantastic. There's not much you should change on that, you know? Next one is gonna be your market research for creative ideas. So when I create videos, I usually start with one brainstorm idea, right? I'm like, man, it would be so cool if I made a content piece for, you know, a service or a product. So instead of just having one idea and latching onto that idea, it's a really good idea to brainstorm not only with just yourself, but with other people. Be like, hey, I have this idea, right? Does this make sense to you? Saying it out loud, writing it on paper. And then not only do you have that one idea, put several ideas down. Because more often than not, you're gonna find that you have like 2 or 3 other ideas that would make really good story content that you could combine into one. Or you could spread them out into several different videos. And I'll get into that a little bit here. And then of course, what's the story that you're gonna be sharing with your audience, right? Is it just gonna be, hey, this is me, I work here, this is what I do? Or is it gonna be presenting a problem? Why is it a problem? What's the solution? Obviously, your product or your service is the solution. So how do you effectively get that across to people in a non-boring way where they're sitting there drooling at the end of your 10-minute video, right? You don't want that because there's already too much of that content out there and that's boring and nobody likes that. We'll just put an end to it right now. All right. So as far as like the actual video content part, there's actually 2 sides to this, right? So you got the universal video strategies and then you have the professional video strategies. And the reason why I have it separated that way is because you don't always have to have a professional making your content. And I'm going to get to that in just a second. So universal strategies. Let's go ahead and dive into the first one. You need to utilize social media with a daily and weekly video and content plan. So what does that mean? Basically what that means is whether you're wanting to do just weekly videos or you want to do a video every week, in order to be effective in actually creating and implementing those plans, you need to have this done a week, a month in advance, right? Or even longer. And what that means is you can have it all on paper. You know, you have your time blocked up for when you're going to be doing it. You've already got your script or your bullet point for talking. Honestly, for a lot of that stuff, bullet points works a lot better instead of trying to stay with a script, because it's so frustrating trying to stay with a script and you just can't get it, right? You do on take 12 and you still can't figure it out. So sometimes bullet points are a little bit easier to kind of grasp the idea and you just kind of go with the flow. Now the other one here, you need to create, again, content that's creative and it's engaging with people. Now I like the rule of like the 15 or 30 seconds, particularly the 15 or 30 seconds if you're doing stories. And here's why. When you're creating content and you're pushing this out, you've already got your, you got a question? Oh, when you go out there and you've already got this, your plan in place, right? And you've got a series of videos, say that your next campaign for the next 3 months, you're gonna be pumping out a video a day, right? You got a specific time you're gonna be putting it out. It's gonna be the best time for the algorithm to boost your content, right? Maybe you're creating content with other people in the industry, right? And so you're gonna be tagging them on their posts. So that's gonna be sharing it, getting your content out there. So having all this stuff maybe pre-recorded, you've got it scheduled to post so you can go out there and you can film, get all this stuff done. And for the next week, it's every day at the right time, everything's already written, and you've got scheduled posts. Huge, freaking awesome, right? And especially if you're trying to get a specific message across. So that way it gives you more time to create the next piece of content for the next few weeks or whatnot. So there's a lot of different ways you can approach that, but that is definitely the most effective way by far, is to be able to figure out what your goal is for your video. Maybe get it into a 3-month block, right? Where you're able to do a week at a time. You already have the bullet points, you already have your topics, you film them, and then for that week, you just let them post throughout the week, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, getting to the 15 or 30-second rule. Mostly on social media, you got Facebook and Instagram. They do not let you go over, I think it's like 30 seconds or something like that, for the stories, which is stupid. I think it should be like 60 seconds, but I don't get paid to make those decisions, so whatever. Anyway, and the reason you can utilize stories with those for the 15 or 30 seconds, whatever video that you just posted or you're going to be posting, you can give them the highlight. So basically what that is that's just you on your phone. Hey guys, I just posted a video about whatever the topic is. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to be learning this, this, and this. The reason for that is you're not only giving them a reason to go to your Facebook page or your Instagram page or wherever you posted it, right? You got to give people a reason. Otherwise, if you're just like, yeah, I just posted a video, you should go watch it. Nobody does that, right? Nobody likes that. So you're giving people value. You should be giving people value in the content that you're creating. Because if you don't give them value, they're not going to have a reason to want to follow you, to like you, and to go finish watching the rest of the video. So that's why I like that 15 or 30-second rule when it comes to stories, because it's a great way to utilize that particular piece of those platforms, giving people a highlight, and being able to just generate just like that interest, right? If you can generate interest within 15 seconds, creating content, longer content, is going to be a lot easier for you. All right, and the next one. I don't know if a lot of people are still, especially with people I talk to, they're not comfortable with doing lives. Basically what that is we just start recording live on Facebook and you're like, hey, is anybody on? Dang it, right? And no. I'm gonna get to some examples on that later on tonight too. But I recommend doing lives at least 4 times a week. And the reason for that is you're building that organic trust, right? You're building that brand identity that, hey, I'm a person too, right? I'm not just someone out there that's trying to get your money, right? I got all this stuff that I'm out there trying to, weasel a deal, right? No, it's you're out there, you're working hard, you're working for clients. You could even share personal stories. Hey, I just got done working with this client. They had this specific set of problems. Here's what we did to fix that, right? So if you have a similar situation, give me a call, boom, right? And that's not very long. Honestly, that could be like a 60-second story, done. You could do longer. And the reason why I like lives is because no matter the situation, it's applicable, right? And I'm going to get into that a little bit later here for different pieces that you can apply lives to. And then yes, post video success stories of your client with your product or service. And I have an example of that as well. And the reason why I like that is because it's social media. As soon as you post a piece of content, it goes down. It goes down on the list because there's billions of people that are always posting. You got your friends list, everybody's doing their thing. So being able to stay current and on top of the algorithm platform is going to be really, really important for you guys. But being able to be like, just say it's a 30-second or 60-second, again, keeping it within that time frame, it could be 2 minutes. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to do, what the story is. But just simply going out there going, hey guys, it's so-and-so with whatever your company is. I just wanted to share an incredible success story with the first name of your client. And I recommend using the first name of your client because that makes it more personable. It's more relatable. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm out here with my client. Who knows who this client is, right? It could be somebody off the street. Hey, can I pay you $5? No. So trying to get it more personal. You got to get on that personal level with these people, right? And you can also tag them in the post, right? So then that's going to go to their Facebook page, and then all their friends are going to see it, right? So then they're like, wow, they just had this awesome experience. Share, like, ding, ding, ding. And then, of course, the algorithm pushes your video higher and higher on that algorithm. So those are all strategies that I really highly recommend that you guys use. And you don't have to have a professional to do any of that stuff, right? It's just a matter, the biggest piece, honestly, is just trying to figure out what's the topic that you're going to be talking about, right? What series of topics. So before we get into the professional stuff, basically, if you're struggling with coming up with content for this, the thing that I would look at is, okay, what can I tell, even if it was just like 3 times a week that you post a video to start, what's one thing that you can start with? Well, the biggest one you can always use as a good rule of thumb for formula is what's the problem? Why is it a problem? What's the solution? Obviously, your solution is your product or service. Give a story as to why it's the solution, and then your call to action. So typically that can run with anywhere from 60 seconds to 3 minutes, right? And it doesn't have to be complicated. It could even be shorter, right? It just really depends on what you guys are trying to do. But that is a really, really effective way to at least have once a week, have a video with that kind of formula. And then of course there's other things that you can do going down the road, right? Like I was saying, hey, I just had this phone call with a client. Here's the problem. Here's what we were able to fix. Again, it's similar to that, but you're making it more personable, more relatable to people. Because if you're just out there going, hey, I do la 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 la, like cool, whatever, right? But if you can give them that storytelling aspect, right? And they're like, yes, I see the problem here. Wow, that is horrible. I can't believe this person had to go through it. That is amazing that you just solved their problem. Wow, you're amazing, a hero. Woohoo! Then that's gonna stick with them. They're gonna remember that, right? Instead of just you posting a video, hey, I do this, haha, call me. No one cares about that. That's out the window. Anyway, so that's the biggest thing, and that's the thing that I would try to remember is just making sure you have that strategy for video, especially for stuff that you guys can create with cell phones. We all have one of these, and these things are powerful. It's just trying to figure out how to utilize them to maximize content for these, right? All right, so as far as professional video, obviously we got like promo videos, then we got commercials, and then we have testimonial videos, and I have some examples of these as well. And then here's another thing, monthly video strategy plans. I've seen like a lot of different companies that do those. I've never done them personally, but I don't know. It could be helpful in some situations to hire a company to go in there and create content monthly, right? So it just kind of depends on what your guys' budget is, what your goals are, and what you're trying to achieve. But these are definitely really good, solid options when it comes to professional quality video. Because with a commercial and testimonials, you're basically trying to keep your brand on the same wavelength, right? You're all speaking the same language, so to speak, when it comes to the video. And this is stuff that's going to be mixed in with your universal video strategy, right? They're going to see you out there in the field. They're going to see you working. You're telling the stories. You're out there doing the work. But then when it comes to, hey, I just need a video to just literally explain what I do and show what I do, that's when a commercial would come into play. And that could be posted once a week, once a month on your social media. You could post snippets of it. And then, of course, having that on your website is also super crucial as well. All right. So let's dive into universal video strategies, but examples. All right. So this is a live video example that I'm going to be showing you. And let's just go ahead and watch it really quick.
Hey everybody, this is Gyro over at Northwest Motorsport. It has been one crazy long day, and as we're closing up, and I just took a video for a client showing him one of our F450s that we have. Just remember, tomorrow we're going to have a sale. We're pairing it with a couple of banks to get you the best interest rate in town. So if you guys are even thinking about coming down and looking at a vehicle, come down, check it out. We've got tons of vehicles, as you can see, and we're more than willing to work hard, give you world-class customer service. So just come down, ask for me. I'm busy. I'll have one of the guys that I trust work with you, and we will get you into the perfect vehicle for the right amount and with the best interest rate that we can.
Perfect. 37 seconds. Now, there's a lot of information that she just gave you, right? So one of the big things that you're seeing right off the bat is that subconscious thing. Hey, I'm working hard out here. I'm working hard for my clients. I just showed one of my clients a video. I got the keys in my hand. I'm walking. That's another big thing with lives. You don't want to be stagnant if you can help it. If you can walk around and give people something to try to focus on as you're giving them the content, that's going to be exponentially better, right? By far. But she's able to, within 37 seconds, what, got a question?
What's the average person's attention span on a video?
Oh, that's a really good question. And that's why I like the 15 to 30 second rule. So the average attention span is not much. It's like you have about 5 seconds or less before they go, whoop, swipe right on by that. They don't care. So that's why that first 2-4 seconds are so crucial to getting their attention. Whether that's, oh, I know this person. I see them on social media. Or what the heck's going on over here? You know, you just got to, whatever the emotion is, each time you do a video, you need to figure out how am I going to capture their attention within the first 2 to 4 seconds. Now, obviously, there's YouTubers out there that way overdo it, right? Their thumbnails them like this. Like, whoa, yeah, obviously I'm not going to click on that. Swipe. But that's the fine grain you got to find, right? Are you authentic, or are you trying way too hard and people know you're trying too hard, so they don't care. They're not going to watch your content. So that's the thing. You got to be very authentic, and whatever your hook is for your video, it needs to be real, right? It needs to be authentic. So same thing here. 37 seconds. We know that she just finished up sending videos and pictures to a client. We know that there's a sale coming up, and that she's going to be able to help us figure out what's going to be the best interest rates for purchasing a car. And if she's not available, she has people that she trusts. She's not just going to hand this off to somebody else, right, that she doesn't really care for. She's going to make sure that we get in the hands of somebody that she trusts, especially since she's a car salesperson, right? So trying to build that trust factor with the audience is huge. So a great video, a live video example. Now this is going to be a live video with a client of a success story. So let's go ahead and watch that. Notice that she actually got the permission to film and to post. She tagged her and tagged the person that was filming that. So let's go ahead and watch this really quick.
Hey everybody, this is Jaira, Northwest Motorsport, just transferred over, and I just sold this wonderful lady, Miss Teresa, a beautiful
She got the jitters.
It's in awesome condition. So, how are you feeling today?
Still in shock, but excited.
Yay! I'm super excited for you, and welcome to the Northwest Motorsport family.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you guys here soon too.
Now notice all the interactions as it happen. It doesn't matter, like when you do a live and you only get 10 people, 30 people that watch your live. The important thing is how you're utilizing the live for maximum engagement as time progresses, right? So you can tell that from the time of that video happening and people were able to watch that, 15 people liked that video and somebody commented on it, right? So that was all within, I don't know, 30 seconds, 40 seconds of her doing that live. And then of course everything that happens after that. So, but again, she was able to get the permission from her clients, be like, hey, let's do a quick live video, help my company grow. She's able to tag her on the video, so not only does her friend, all of her friends see it, but they're gonna be like, wow, my friend just bought a car from Jaira Griffin at Northwest. She looked like she had a really great and fun experience. I think if I'm gonna do that, right? Obviously, so again, you're building that trust, you're building that personal brand identity online. So those are two really good examples, and again, it's endless. It's endless what you can do with video. But the most important thing is, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? What's the story that you're telling, right? And are you being authentic? Because you don't want to be like, just tell cheesy grins the whole time, and then people tell you you're not authentic, and then it all goes out the window from there. So let's go ahead and take a look at professional video strategies. So we just saw two great examples of what you can do in the field, right, with your cell phone, or if you do end up buying like a GoPro with a mic or like a expensive, like those little cameras you can flip around or whatever. Those are also good options as well. So this is a minute and 47 commercial that my company actually created for Jaira. So let's go and watch that really quick.
10,000, 20,000, 50,000, or even
First 5 seconds, there it is.
It's a huge investment and will certainly be your second largest investment that you'll ever make in your lifetime. With so much on the line, you need a consultant that understands your needs and knows how to maximize the tools and resources available to you to ensure full investment transparency and more than satisfactory results. My name is Jaira Griffin, and I'm a professional sales consultant at Northwest Motorsport, right here in Spokane, Washington. Now, why am I a consultant? As a consultant, I have full flexibility to be able to educate you and
See the formula?
guide you through all your best
The formula is
options,
coming through.
from finding the right vehicle to financing. When working with me, you'll quickly discover why all of my customers love the world-class customer service that I provide during the vehicle investment process. Now, why do I add value to my customers with world-class customer service? Because it lays the foundation for a healthy relationship between the customer and the consultant with open and honest communication. This will help me better serve you and fully understand your vehicle wants and needs, and to guide you through the best comprehensive vehicle investment opportunities. See what my customers have to say by reading the many 5-star Google reviews and watching their testimonials. With over 1,600 vehicles in stock and over 100 lenders, together you and I will find the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Call me today. Let's make sure that you're maximizing your vehicle investment opportunities.
So that is a beautiful example of the formula on a professional scale. Notice that we were able to utilize not only what she's trying to achieve with her brand, right? Because she has a huge hurdle to overcome. She's a car salesperson, right? Nobody trusts those people. Trying to take advantage of me. Where's my wallet? Kind of thing, right? So she's trying to build herself a brand identity, a personal brand for her. Not a company, but for her. So building a video strategy where she's able to convey that message and be able to clearly tell a story that the viewer can understand. They're like, okay, wow. Now notice too, within the first 5 seconds, we're throwing out big numbers, big money numbers. She's in front of a microphone. You got numbers flashing behind her. What is going on, right? Now I gotta watch another 15 seconds at least to see what's happening. So you're drawing them in through content, authentic content, right? You're not just spinning them in a yarn, and then they're like, oh well, dang it, 15 minutes in and there's nothing here. I hate it when people do that. So stupid. It's usually on YouTube. You'll click it, and you'll scroll to the last 5 minutes to see if there's anything good. And then you're like, I knew it! And then you give it a dislike, and then you're out of there. Anyway, but yeah, so that's a wonderful example of that. We're able to hit all the bullet points and be able to make sure that the message that her brand is trying to get across to her potential clients is going to happen. The cool thing is, after we got this commercial done, she was able to post it, get it all over social media and Instagram. She told me that she had 4 people that contacted her that saw that video. It's like, yes! So there it is. So the quality and the power of video is just... It's powerful. It really is. So being able to understand the strategies and making sure that you're pushing the right content out there is extremely key. All right, so the next one is, and I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I'm just going to show you the first 15 seconds of this testimonial video. I wasn't originally going to put this first part in there, but I loved where this conversation was going. And I loved the rawness of it. So let me just show you real quick.
There aren't people like Jaira. You know, I'll be honest, like that connection and that, take it in, girlfriend. Take it in. Because really, there aren't. Like, you think like car salesman, you think, and that's not the experience we had at all.
So that right there, that wasn't originally how I had planned to do the testimonial, because I already have testimonials like scripted, like questions and everything like that, but then that actually happened after we did all the questions. I'm like, that's perfect. I'll throw that in there, right? So getting a raw emotion like that, if you're able to do that with other clients and customers, just even when you're doing your videos on your cell phone, perfect. People like to see that. People like to see that engagement. So that's what I have for video strategy. If you guys have questions or have a specific question on things later on or on a specific detail, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you guys out and really figure out what you guys need to do to make that next step. Even if you're just going to use universal video strategies, use your cell phone, use what you have. Start getting out there and making that content. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. All right, let's talk about business cards. This is my favorite one right here. I'm sure everybody bought business cards, brought business cards. You guys have business cards? Perfect. All right. So let's just go ahead and go through the 3 tiers right now. So we got standard print. We all know that. Front, back, freaking ink it up, and there it is. Send them out. Or toss them out, which a lot of people do. It's really stupid. Anyway, we got standard prints and QR codes. And I know a lot of people have questions about QR codes, so I actually got a slide dedicated to QR codes. And of course, our digital business card. Now, I kind of put this slide in here because I wasn't sure if this would help clarify what you could use a business card for. But what is the purpose of a business card? Business cards have retained their significance in today's virtual world. Keyword virtual world. Say that 10 times fast. Anyway, the cards have helped establish a warm personal relationship with clients. It is a marketing tool that can create trust, establish your brand, and convey a message to potential clients. That business card, all the material that you put on there, the design, that's going to be a subconscious first impression when you work with people, right? They're going to grab your business card and go, wow, that's really cool. Or they're going to go, yeah, there it goes, right? So getting that first impression is always going to be key. Now, of course, obviously, it's the ease of giving your business cards contact details to people. It's a great networking tool, obviously. That's a really good part. And there we go. And then, of course, it does play a significant role in building your brand awareness, right? So that's all part of the design element, which I'm going to touch on that here in just a second. But before we get into all that boring stuff, let's talk about the physical and digital business card differences.